Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now whilst I'm out and about, I spend a lot of time filming like this in the woods. Through my woods there are several tree stumps that generally I'll end up sat on with the camera face down whilst I'm showing you some stuff. Now, it's nice to have something to sit on, and a tree stump, although nice to sit on, is dirty, it's wet, and there's an old wives' tale that if you sit on a cold object for too long then it can give you hemorrhoids. That is where the Helikon-Tex Vagabond Seating Pad comes in perfectly. Now it might be a short piece of content today for a while, it's rare that I make short content, but yeah, this is what we're going to have a look at. I've had this now for a while. Now historically the seating pad that I've took out was a really cheap one that I bought off Amazon. Now these aren't particularly expensive either, so you're not going to break the bank picking one of these up, but it was a cheap kind of foam one, and I've got an old piece of leather that I wrapped that in, that I would then put the seating pad down, I'd sit on the leather, and you know, that would kind of do me. But you know, they're pretty big. I mean, they're not massively cumbersome, but you're just trying to remember to put that out. Whereas having this, I've been able to move this between bags, and the way in which you can lash this to things as well certainly makes it easier. And plus, when this folds away, it folds away really small. You can fit this into any pocket. You can fit it into a pocket in your trousers, or if you've got cargo pants, you can fit it into the side. And yeah, it just stows away really nice and small. Now, as we usually do, we'll have a look at some measurements, some materials, and then the use point for this. Although I'm sure at this point you probably guessed, when it's called the Vagabond Seating Mat Pad, you put it under your arse and you sit on it. Anyway, there must be that's what she said there somewhere. Anyway, so as far as the size of this is concerned, when it's away, it's roughly the size of a mobile phone. You can see they're kind of comparable. It's more like like your iPhone 17 Pro Max Ultra, whatever. It's more like a large one, but when it unfolds, the full dimensions are 29 centimeters by 35 centimeters, but I do like the fact that it does fold away rather than just kind of doing a tri-fold thing. Again, they're not making something, they've not reinvented the wheel with this. There are other seating mats that are very similar to this. This is just Helikon-Tex's version. It's made from 500D Cordura. It's Cordura on both sides. Now, if I could change anything about this, there's very little that I would change about this, but if there is something that I would change, what I would probably do is put like a TPU coated kind of liner on this side, or whichever side is meant to be the side that you put down onto something that's wet and dirty. Now you can see on the inside here, I have got this dirty from sitting on it, and when you get it home, generally what I've done is it's stayed in my bag. It's not got smelly, it's not kind of got that weird forest kind of stench on it. But if it's been overly dirty, I've took it home, put it on like a radiator or somewhere warm in the sun, and then used a clothes brush. I've got two clothes, one like a hard brush and one's a soft bristle brush. So once it's completely dry, hard brush, and then a soft brush after that, and it does clean up really nice. But I think if for longevity, or now I've had this through the summer into the autumn now, so I will test this more through the winter and you will see me kind of around sat on it, but if there's one thing that would just be it. Now Cordura does have some aquaphobic qualities of its own, being a kind of a ballistics nylon. And it does have a DWR coating on here. In between this, there's a sponge. Now the sponge foam, it does feel like a closed cell foam. So I guess with it being a closed cell foam, that water's not going to permeate kind of from one side to the other. And it does fold reasonably well as well. So you have these stitched lines on here, there, so, and that's exactly how it folds. So it folds in again, and then folds in half, and it does a good job. Now where the stitching is on the inside, it's got some, the stitching on here is just single stitched, but then as it gets round to the edge here, you can see there is some reinforced stitching on here. Now sitting on it through the summer has been great. It just gives you that extra little bit of a cushion. I think the true test, now that the temperature's dropping, I have found that it does keep your bum a little bit warmer, because whatever it is that you're on that was initially quite cold, there's just that gap. And with this being, again, I'm guessing it does feel like a closed cell foam. That closed cell foam, because it allows some air to stay in there, it will again help to keep your bottom a little bit warmer. As far as anything else, so there's a little logo on it there, or at least that is your washing instructions, your Helikon-Tex. On the front here, because this is more of the bushcraft line, it has one of these little faux leather little chameleons on there, and then you've got your Cordura logo here. I think this is available in, I want to say 5 or 6 different colours. All of the colours are your flat colours: OD green, tan, coyote, black, grey, those kind of colours. But hopefully nothing kind of bright and garish that when you've been sitting on it a while just gets filthy and doesn't particularly look nice. And that's it, kind of, it's a nice and short one. Now, as I mentioned, so this does fold up. When it folds up, you have 2 bits of webbing here at the top, and then there is a press stud on here, which will then keep that in place. And then on the back here, there is another tab, so you can connect this onto something. Maybe you want to keep this on the outside of your pack, then you can pass that through something. But what you can do is, so where you have these press studs, if you take the D-ring that's on here, loop it past over where that press stud is, and then close your press stud. That then turns into a loop. So if you've got something on the inside of your bag, maybe you want to put this where your hydration bladder is. You usually have one of those little kind of clasps at the top so that you can hang your hydration bladder from it. That will make sure that this will always be at the top if you're not out doing a long walk where you need to take water with you. You just got a bottle instead. You can have this hanging from the top and it can just stay on there. Or maybe it is that you've got a day bag and then you've got one of those key loops. Because of the size of this will fit into pretty much any quick access pocket, and generally in those quick access pockets you've got like a key stay or something like that, which again you can attach this to. So rather than it just kind of falling out when you need to get stuff out, it will always be in there, it will always be secure until you need it. Whereas you can either undo the key stay to take it off, or you just undo the press stud, which the D-ring will then come out, because you're going to undo the press stud anyway, so that you can then sit down on this. The way that I've been doing it is where I've got the little leather Helikon-Tex logo on that there. That's the bit that I've sat on, and then this bit here on the inside, this is the bit that I then put down onto the surface. That way that when I fold this up and then I put this away, put a little D-ring back over there again, when I fold this away, whatever it is that I've been sat on that's maybe been dirty, that's all wrapped within here. So on the outside, this is the bit that I've been sat on, then that will hopefully be the clean part. So it's not got any dirt or kind of crap inside my bag. As I mentioned, on the few occasions that it's been raining the night before, like today it was raining last night, it does get a little bit dirty, a little bit marked. You can just give it a flap, and it is what it is. So yeah, so there you go. That is the Helikon-Tex Vagabond seating mat. I forget which one it is, but it's definitely the Helikon-Tex Vagabond seating mat, pad, whatever it identifies as today. So yeah, there you go. And as I mentioned, not particularly expensive. These are reasonably budget friendly, so you could get a couple of them, maybe have them in 2 different bags, or if you've got a couple of different setups, then you can always have one with you. Yeah, so there you go. Now, as I did leave a note at the beginning of this, full disclosure, this was sent to me from Military First. I've worked with Military First now for the last 4 or 5 years. Awesome online retailer here in the UK, stone's throw from the Kingdom and the Moorlands over in Manchester. They do everything from military gear, whether you're in the military or whether you're doing a little bit of airsoft, whether you're out adventuring like this in the Kingdom and the Moorlands or the rest of the UK, or even the rest of the world, because they do post out not just here in the UK, they do post out to Europe and North America or Australia. I know I have some viewers here that have purchased from them that live in Australia. So yeah, Massive thank you to the awesome team at Military First. Now, of course, I'll leave their links below so that you can see more from them and the seating pad mat thing. I'll also leave some of my social media links so you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel Moorlander Tactical, where I look at other kind of everyday tactical kind of stuff. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. You might be here waiting for the bloopers now. I don't think I got much wrong, in fairness, in that one. There was no weird kind of me swearing at myself, punching myself in the face or the testicles, or maybe this is the bloopers now, me just kind of rambling on about punching myself in the testicles. But anyway, I hope you're all good. I hope you're having a good week. Yeah. See you soon. I need to do some B-roll of me like sitting down and things like that, of course.